I would love Meghan is so pointless, it might be the Sussex's last TV show. The New Statesman, another lefty rag, said, "This isn't her house. Are these people her friends? Can she really cook or garden?"
My gosh, I work so hard. I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard.
Oh my gosh, Meghan Markle is insufferable. She's as popular as getting hardcore chafing during the first kilometre of a marathon.
It was supposed to be her Phoenix moment. Meghan Markle, once draped in royal silk and media admiration, was ready for her second act, not as a duchess, but as a Hollywood power player. Netflix had rolled out the red carpet, a multi-million-dollar deal, full creative reign.
Knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and
It's
loves
so
it.
funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
A show built around her, and then silence. No press tour, no renewal, just a brutal headline. Season 2, canceled. Behind that single word lies a wildfire of diva demands, failed promises, and a staggering brand collapse.
The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done. It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line and what's the cadence of it.
The woman who once turned palace drama into a streaming gold rush now found herself ghosted by the very industry she thought she'd dominate. This isn't just another tabloid headline, it's the unraveling of a media empire built on buzzwords, filtered feminism, and curated tears. So how did Meghan go from being the face of modern royalty to being quietly iced out by the power players of Hollywood? Let's peel back the curtain, and it's not pretty. Here's where it all started.
Oh, from when I was at Hollywood Schoolhouse, maybe I was probably Archie's age.
With Love Meghan, a series designed to relaunch her brand as a soft-spoken, wellness-savvy icon with a heart for storytelling and a kitchen full of fresh herbs. The trailers were elegant, the visuals immaculate, the tone soaked in aspirational serenity, and none of it felt remotely real. Viewers were promised authenticity and inspiration, but got something closer to a Hallmark card with better lighting. Meghan, rearranging fruit and pretending to chat with old friends, who clearly didn't know her, looked more like she was shooting a perfume ad than filming a docuseries. It wasn't her house. It wasn't her garden. The whole thing felt like a commercial for someone else's life.
I mean, how relatable is that, eh? You're a single mum of two in Basingstoke. You've just come in off the night shift and you see one of your kids outside eating worms.
Critics noticed. So did audiences. The series launched with noise but landed with a whimper, quickly exposing itself as yet another overproduced, underdelivered celebrity vanity project. The relatable Duchess image cracked fast. And once the shine wore off, all that was left was an awkward, bloated PR experiment. Netflix saw it, viewers felt it, and Meghan, once again, missed the mark.
It's not even her kitchen. The people she surrounds herself with don't even seem to be her friends.
And just when things could have pivoted, when Meghan could have read the room and softened her approach, she doubled down. Season 2 wasn't pitched, it was dictated. Her list of demands was nothing short of staggering. A wardrobe budget of $350,000, a full-time glam team, first-class international flights for herself, and a parade of stylists and assistants, and, most notably, final editorial control over every single element of the production. That included the music, the script, the lighting design, and even the choice of guests. Insiders described the tone of the negotiation as less of a creative meeting and more of a royal decree. Meghan wasn't collaborating, she was commanding. She reportedly demanded that the show be produced under her own company with total veto power, even though the first season couldn't hold an audience past the opening credits. For Netflix, already wary of high-budget content that doesn't convert into views, it was an easy decision. The show didn't earn the leverage. The ego far outweighed the engagement, and with the data in front of them, executives decided to cut their losses.
You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
The data was merciless. Viewer retention after episode 1 plummeted by more than 57%, a staggering drop in a streaming landscape where binge-worthy content reigned supreme. People weren't watching, they were walking away. With Love, Meghan failed to break into Netflix's top 100 globally, barely making a ripple in an ocean of content. It was supposed to be a crown jewel in Meghan's post-royal career. Instead, it quietly vanished. Critics eviscerated the show, calling it flat, performative, and painfully shallow. Rolling Stone described it as a Pinterest board with a voiceover. Variety went even further, suggesting Meghan wasn't trying to empower women, she just wanted to be endlessly praised for pretending to. The Hollywood Reporter said it read like a branding deck in motion. Even Meghan's supporters struggled to defend it, admitting the series felt disconnected and hollow. Internally, Netflix had a simple response. The juice wasn't worth the royal squeeze. They gave her a platform, and she gave them a pitch deck with avocado toast. That wasn't the deal they signed up for. Behind the scenes, it was even messier.
With love, Meghan, which is what this abomination is called, is so bad.
I mean, it's just such a mess. I mean, it's a mess from the beginning to the end because she doesn't really know what she's doing and she hasn't got any experience that will help her. She doesn't wait till things are sorted out.
Production staff described the environment as disorganized, tense, and creatively suffocating. Meghan reportedly overruled producers, demanded constant reshoots, and hired multiple consultants just to ensure the tone of the show felt sufficiently empowering. Not the content, mind you, just the tone. Every flower arrangement, every line of dialogue, every lighting cue was filtered through her personal branding machine. Authenticity was replaced with optics.
It was ridiculous. She had the first visitor was her face makeup man.
What should have been a behind-the-scenes glimpse into Meghan's world became an exercise in glossy performance. One insider said it felt like shooting a commercial for someone trying to be real. Meghan wasn't interested in creating a series. She was crafting an image, one perfectly staged, surgically edited, and entirely detached from reality. And Netflix, once captivated by her mystique, realized they were footing the bill for a glorified influencer campaign. The fantasy Meghan tried to sell was cracking, and the platform, once eager to back her, started backing away. And if this had been a one-off disaster, maybe the industry could have forgiven it. But with love, Meghan was just the latest in a long line of abandoned projects.
Well, we all already knew. Their life is fake, vacuous, devoid of any real friends, and horrendously out of touch.
Quite sad, but also ridiculous.
But isn't it rather wonderful that she's enjoying this and communicating with people? Isn't it quite difficult for royals that they're expected to live an expensive and lavish lifestyle, but they're not allowed to earn any money?
Remember Pearl? The animated series centered on a young girl inspired by historical female icons, announced with great fanfare and royal buzz, quietly canceled before even entering production. No script, no cast, no traction. Just a vague concept wrapped in buzzwords. Then came Archetypes, the Spotify podcast Meghan launched with claims of redefining the narrative for women. One season, no follow-up, no evolution, just ambient applause and awkward interviews. Even the Harry and Meghan Netflix docuseries had a brief, fiery flash, and then vanished from the cultural conversation. These weren't just missed opportunities, they were proof of a troubling pattern. Overpromise, underdeliver. Meghan had become Hollywood's biggest gamble, and not in a good way. She burned through deals, disappointed partners, and consistently failed to convert attention into impact. And at this point, the industry was taking notes. It didn't take long for Hollywood to get the message. Meghan Markle, once embraced as a bold new voice in entertainment, was now seen as a high-risk, high-maintenance liability. She wasn't invited to the 2025 Vanity Fair Oscars party. PR firms began removing her from influencer rosters. Invitations to industry events dried up. Even her inner circle, the likes of Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Ellen, grew noticeably quiet. According to one agent, she walks into every meeting expecting to be treated like a queen, but delivers like a lifestyle blogger who just discovered Canva. The buzzwords weren't enough anymore. The charm had worn thin. Executives didn't want curated pain or branded feminism. They wanted substance, innovation, and professionalism. Meghan was offering none of that. Her vision boards felt outdated. Her message felt recycled. And her name, once a golden ticket, had become a red flag. The Hollywood machine doesn't care about your Instagram following. It cares about results. And Meghan, she was fresh out. And then came the quiet collapse. Netflix didn't just pull the plug on With Love, Meghan. They closed the door on Archewell entirely. No second season, no development deals, no future projects. Executives stopped taking meetings. The strategy team stopped returning calls. Internally, the company viewed Meghan's brand as a prestige sinkhole, expensive, exhausting, and ultimately empty. Even her rumored memoir has hit a wall, with publishers reportedly backing away due to narrative fatigue. One insider bluntly said, "We've heard it all before, and better." Meghan's ability to control the narrative, once her greatest strength, had become her greatest liability. The story she kept trying to tell, about strength, survival, and reinvention, no longer resonated. It sounded scripted, focus-tested, hollow. And when an industry built on story loses interest in yours, you're done. The final nail? Silence. In Hollywood, being talked about, even controversially, keeps you relevant. Being ignored? That's exile. Meghan hasn't posted updates, no new launches, no upcoming appearances. She's vanished from the spaces she once dominated. Red carpets, roundtables, press junkets, nothing. Even her former defenders have gone dark. No tweets, no interviews, not even a birthday tribute. The influencers who once shouted her name now treat her like a career cautionary tale. The executives who once fought to sign her now won't take her calls. She's not the villain in a royal drama anymore. She's the ghost of a brand that never became real. Meghan Markle, once on the brink of becoming Hollywood's next Oprah, now can't even book a panel. And the most devastating part, no one seems to mind. This isn't just a canceled show, it's the unraveling of an entire media illusion. Meghan Markle had everything: global attention, cultural leverage, massive corporate backing, but she mistook interest for admiration and control for talent. She confused aesthetic with depth and clout with creativity. And in the process, she lost the very audience she fought to hold on to. Her downfall wasn't engineered by tabloids, royals, or the patriarchy. It was the result of too many promises, too little payoff, and a refusal to evolve. In the end, Meghan didn't get canceled. She simply stopped mattering. And the woman who once tried to own the narrative, she's no longer in the narrative. Drop a comment if you're ready to hear the full truth, because this isn't the last Hollywood ghost story we're going to uncover.